If we ever find life in the universe, humanity might be on the brink of facing its greatest crisis. The idea of discovering life beyond Earth is usually seen as something wonderful, a revolution in science, an opportunity to answer the deepest questions about our existence. However, if we look deeper, this discovery could bring dark implications for our future. The truth is that if life is indeed common in the cosmos, it places us before one of the most terrifying dilemmas of our time, the Great Filter. The concept of the Great Filter emerged as an attempt to resolve the Fermi paradox, which questions why we haven't found evidence of other civilizations in the universe, even with billions of stars and planets just in our galaxy. If life arises so easily, why don't we see signs of other advanced civilizations? Could it be that we are the only survivors of an extremely rare sequence of events? Or are we yet to face our greatest challenge, something that awaits us in the future and could bring an end to our existence? To understand the Great Filter, it is necessary to explore its definition. Imagine a series of barriers along the evolution of life, improbable and challenging events that life must overcome to advance to the next stage of complexity. These filters can be anywhere on the timeline, from the very emergence of life to the transition into an advanced technological civilization capable of exploring the cosmos. If the filter is in our past, it means we have already overcome an obstacle that other civilizations could not. If it lies in our future, then a monumental challenge still awaits us. One of the strongest candidates for being the Great Filter is the emergence of life itself. We know that Earth is about 4.5 billion years old and that conditions became suitable for life around 4.3 billion years ago. However, the oldest evidence of life dates back to roughly 3.8 billion years ago. In other words, it took hundreds of millions of years for life to emerge. This suggests that even with ideal conditions, the transition from non-living matter to living organisms is not a straightforward process. But that is not the only candidate. The emergence of complex cells, known as eukaryotes, which are the foundation of all multicellular organisms, is another strong contender. After life first appeared on Earth, it remained in its simplest form, as single-celled organisms, for nearly 2 billion years. This evolutionary leap was significant and seems to have occurred only once. This uniqueness makes the emergence of eukaryotic cells an excellent candidate for the Great Filter. Now, if we find life on other planets or moons, especially in places like Mars or Europa, Jupiter's icy moon, the location of the Great Filter becomes even more crucial. If we find evidence of simple life forms, such as microorganisms, it would indicate that the emergence of life is not as rare as we thought. This, in turn, would increase the likelihood that the filter lies somewhere further along the evolutionary path, perhaps in the stages of technological civilization development or their survival. Even worse would be finding complex life, such as multicellular organisms or even evidence of biologically advanced life forms. This would make it almost certain that the Great Filter lies in our future. After all, if complex life can emerge elsewhere in the cosmos, why haven't we encountered other intelligent civilizations? This suggests that something eliminates these civilizations before they can become capable of space travel and sending signals to us. But what could that something be? There are some grim possibilities to consider. One of them is self-destruction. Technological civilizations may have a tendency to develop technologies that ultimately turn against them. Whether through nuclear wars, environmental collapse, or uncontrolled biotechnology, the risks are abundant and grow as we advance technologically. Another possibility is that intelligent civilizations end up trapped in bubbles of comfort. As they develop technologies that allow them to live in virtual worlds, they may lose interest in space and cosmic matters. The focus on entertainment and immediate gratification could lead to a stagnation of exploration. If this becomes a dominant trend, then many civilizations may exist but be confined to their own realities, never venturing beyond their worlds. And, of course, there is the option that the universe is simply more hostile than we imagine. There could be cosmic events, such as supernovae, gamma-ray bursts, or asteroid impacts, occurring frequently enough to wipe out complex life before it becomes interplanetary. If a civilization is limited to a single planet, it may be extremely vulnerable to these risks. In this context, the discovery of any form of extraterrestrial life could be the worst news for humanity. If we find signs of simple life, like microorganisms, on Mars or the moons of Jupiter and Saturn, it could mean that the emergence of life is relatively easy and that the great filter lies ahead of us. Each evolutionary step that extraterrestrial life manages to replicate makes it even more likely that the filter is in our future, and that is far from reassuring. In a way, it's like playing Russian roulette. With each discovery of life at a more advanced stage, the probability that the next shot will be fatal increases. If the great filter is a natural process that prevents civilizations from evolving beyond a certain point, it means humanity's existence could be on borrowed time. In Earth's history, there have been 5 major mass extinctions that nearly wiped out all life, such as the event that killed off the dinosaurs 66 million years ago. Yet, despite these events, life has always persisted, evolving into more complex and diverse forms. However, in a scenario like this, not all civilizations may be so fortunate. Survival may depend on extremely specific and rare variables. There is also the possibility that we could be an early civilization. If intelligent life is a rarity, it may be that humanity emerged too soon to encounter other civilizations. The universe is incredibly old, around 13.8 billion years, while human civilization, as we know it, has only existed for a few tens of thousands of years. That's an infinitesimal fraction of history in universal terms. It's possible that other civilizations are only just beginning to emerge, and we are living in an era where the universe is still in a kind of technological infancy. However, this idea of being early does not eliminate the possibility that a filter lies ahead. It could be that intelligent life requires certain cosmic conditions that have not yet occurred, and when the universe becomes mature enough, the chances of emerging and surviving may increase significantly. This, however, does not change the fact that, for now, we remain alone. The Fermi paradox and the concept of the great filter force us to face the fact that loneliness in the universe could be both a privilege and a death sentence. If we are the first civilization to emerge, we bear the responsibility and challenge of ensuring our survival. If we find evidence that life is common, we must prepare for what comes next. After all, as history has shown, great challenges can arise when we least expect them, and humanity must be ready to face them. Finding life in the universe could change everything, but it could also reveal that, despite our advancements, we still have much to fear and conquer. In one way or another, the search for answers will lead us to confront the most important question of all: are we truly alone, or merely awaiting the inevitable? And if we are indeed the only living civilization, what legacy do we want to leave in the universe? See you in the next video.